But I don't want to stay here.
Ruth, you have to give it a chance.
Why? Dad.
Maybe it's time, sweetheart. Maybe I've taught you all I can.
No. I want to be with you.
I know. And I want to be with you. You and your brother are the best things I've ever done. Now, come on.
How long?
I don't know.
How long do I have to give it?
A week, at least.
And if it doesn't work?
Then you never have to set foot in this place again.
Fine.
Right, settle down. Take a look at the sheet.
Got your sheet.
Right. Got a lot to get through this year, so let's make a start. Look at the reading list in front of you.
There's a lot on there. Do you think we'll have to read it?
Yes, you do have to read them all. Now, the exam board has been particularly trendy this year by including some of their more politically correct selections. We even have a book about Nigeria.
The Other Side of Truth. It's an excellent book. Most of it's set in London, actually.
A cultural island in an otherwise sea of chaffness. She's read it.
Yeah, I have. Have you?
Of course I've read. I've read everything on the list.
Don't you think it has something to say about the refugee experience? About the prejudice they encounter from the general populace and their own cultural group?
I think that it doesn't matter what I think because I am not sitting the exam. Any other questions before we move on?
And it's that T.S. Eliot's on here. Why are we doing the wasteland? I find it a little simplistic.
Yes, Ruth Kirby?
Seriously, we're expected to read Treasure Island. It's nothing more than a children's story. It's so linear.
Ruth? What now? What, Ruth? Yes, Ruth Kirby. Yes, Ruth. What?
Catcher in the Rye.
And what is the problem with that one?
It's just a teenage boy's silly fantasy. The protagonist is just a loser, and we're supposed to think it's so profound.
Spoiler alert. Don't ruin the ending.
It's not that kind of book, really. You probably won't get it.
You young lady can go for cooler.
There ain't one no more, sir. You'll have to take her to see Miss Fisher.
Marvellous idea. Follow me.
Jess, we need to talk, please.
I don't want to be late for my next class.
Why didn't you tell me?
You didn't ask.
Oh, come off it. You shouldn't have even been in that club. You're underage.
Yeah, for drinking.
Jess,
Hold on a second. You didn't even tell me what you did. Turns out it wasn't just me out on a school night.
don't start playing games with me.
I don't do games. I've got to know.
Now, Mrs. Fisher, this young lady has been disrupting my class.
Really? And how's she been doing that?
Well, she's been asked. She has been asking questions. And if you ask me, she doesn't want the answers. She just likes the sound of her own voice. I mean, I do have other pupils.
Oh, I know that. And you know that. But she doesn't.
What?
She's been homeschooled, Mr. Button. It's attention-seeking. It's what she's used to.
Evidently.
Look, I wouldn't have put her in your class if I didn't think you were a match for her.
Of course. I mean, I've been teaching English since before she was born.
That's the spirit, Mr. Button. Go back to your classroom and show her what you're made of.
I will. Right, you, back to class.
But-
Now!
You hiding from me?
No, not at all.
Good. Let's go.
Where to?
I want to survey my kingdom.
Right.
Okay, so these ingredients just need to mingle in this very hot pan.
Is this a Spanish lesson?
Apparently. She just trooped in and asked if I had some eggs. I don't know what she's making apart from a mess.
Right, time to go over our vocabulary. So the next thing that I need to do is bata los huevos. Anybody?
The eggs. You need to beat them.
Muy bien, Jonah.
So you cook like this at home, miss?
Of course.
What, for your boyfriend?
I haven't got one, if that's what you're asking.
I wasn't, but as you brought it up.
Time to add the eggs to the pan, I think.
She's great. We'll have more of these. It's a different approach to teaching. Imaginative lessons that really grab the kids.
We've just done this.
What?
I think she needs to work on her tone. It's a little bit
Flirtatious?
over-familiar.
Well, have a word. I'll check out the English department.
And then you have a real Spanish omelette, como mi madre solía hacer, like my mother used to make. Okay, everyone gather round, grab a fork, have a taste. Careful, it's hot.
Not the only thing that's hot in here.
Come on. Mr. Mead, can I tempt you at all?
Oh, no, I'm fine,
Come
thank you.
on. Just a taste.
Right, bums on chairs, fingers on lips, the lot of yous. Like just about enough.
Janice, I got your note. What's going on?
I did what I had to. They was taking up too many spaces on the steps. It's becoming an health and safety issue. Tell me again why I got rid of the cooler, because this ain't working.
Why are you here?
I don't know. Don't give me that, Denzel Kelly. You've obviously done something.
Thanks, Janice. I can manage. Denzel,
I wasn't even talking that much.
were you told not to talk?
Yeah,
How many times?
a few.
Is that why the rest of you are here? Talking, playing up, generally being silly? Yeah. Right, you can spend your break in here and then straight back to lessons. In silence, please. Thank you. Janice, would you mind?
Be my pleasure. Oi, you. Zip it.
Do you want a cuppa, Karen?
Oh, yes, please, Tom. I also need to have a word with everyone about the cooler situation.
I knew it wouldn't last.
But then it was never meant to last. Closing the cooler was always going to be a temporary measure.
That's not what you said.
Well, why close it in the first place?
Well, because it was the quickest way to find out who the habitual troublemakers were.
Fair enough.
And to find out who needed the most help in dealing with them.
But it's the cooler that helps us deal with them. That is its job.
No, it's a last resort. And that's not what I'm seeing. I think some of you have become far too reliant on it.
Well, why should we stand for having our classrooms disrupted?
Fair enough, but I think you should be able to deal with it in your own classroom.
How would we do that?
By nipping it in the bud from the off. If you allow a situation to escalate, then you're going to have no option but to want the kid out of your sight.
That's easy for you to say.
Tell me, what was more disruptive this morning? Ruth Kirby's questions, or you leaving your entire class unattended while you brought her to my office?
Well,
By sending a child to my office, you're also sending yourself. Is that right, Grantley? Thank you. Nice tea.
Well, she can't have it both ways. I mean, are we sending kids to the cooler or not? Chris?
I'm not getting involved.
Keep going, keep it going. Yes, Josh. Yes, back in the circle.
Why don't you join in?
It's okay. I'll just watch.
"18 months.
I'm sorry.
That's how long I've been away from work. Should have seen me this morning. I was in a right mess. Still, year and a half. It's a long time to be away from things. Get used to your own company, doing your own thing.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then you've got to meet a whole new set of people, get to know them.
And that's hard.
Your dad expects a lot from you, doesn't he?
He's put a lot of time and effort into us. Look, most parents just don't bother.
I think he's done a great job for you and Ruth. It's brilliant how grateful you are to him.
I am. I really am.
You know how you can repay him for all the hard work he's done? By being your own person. Do your own thing. Show him how much he's taught you.
All right.
Okay? Hey! Over here! Football trials are on this afternoon. Be good to see you there. Well, go on.
Find a seat and sit down quickly and quietly. There's no need for anybody else to be talking except me.
Well, he's the one that's late.
What did I just finish saying, Lauren?
Sorry, sir.
OK. Welcome to GCSE Biology. Today, we're going to be looking at sugars, how they form in the body and what they do. But first of all, we're going to be starting with an experiment, as you can see.
Cool. Love practicals. Yeah, you
We're
would.
measuring how much energy sugar gives off. And we're going to do that by measuring heat. Now, I need someone to hand out the goggles. Lauren.
What are you doing?
You'll see.
Sir?
Booze? What is that? What have you done?
Just sugar and salt, Peter. Of course, if I'd have had some sulphur, then I could have made you gunpowder. Good effect, though, isn't it?
Drilling in, miss.
Not that I know. Keep going.
Chelsea? Chelsea, you all right?
So go on, what have you got to say for yourself?
Nothing.
Right, everybody! That was a false alarm, so back to your classes as quickly as possible. Come on, move it! You're fast enough getting out here.
Time to explain yourself to Mrs. Fisher.